Here you are. Let's go. This is the most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in. What do you think is happening in Yellowstone right now?
Something strange is happening in Yellowstone National Park right now. Herds of bison, elk, and even birds are moving out of the park. Fast. Rangers say it's unusual migration behavior. But some believe it's a warning. Animals sense disasters before humans do. Back in 2014, this same behavior was spotted just days before a major earthquake shook the region. But here's the terrifying part. Beneath Yellowstone lies one of the largest active supervolcanoes in the entire world. If it erupted, it could blanket much of the United States in ash, drop global temperatures, and cause devastation beyond anything we've ever seen. Scientists monitor it constantly, but even they admit there's no way to fully predict when it could awaken. And animals often react to changes long before we even realize something is wrong. So what are they running from this time? Is it an earthquake, a volcanic event, or something we can't explain? Would you stay near Yellowstone right now? Or would you leave?
I'm gone. Family vacation's over with. We got a bucket. I don't ask questions. I just start running. Remembers Lot's wife? Keep running and don't look back. Whenever I'm running from anything, I always think of Lot's wife. Don't ever look back. That's a second of hesitation. That's a couple milliseconds from an extra feet away from danger. Meanwhile, at Yellowstone National Park, the animals seem to be alerting each other of something. I'm sorry, you just can't make this stuff up. A couple of you guys commented yesterday talking about Yellowstone National Park has some weird stuff going on. Let's see what we can dig up. People, you just don't understand. The birds are guiding them because their habitat is being destroyed.
So the bison that fell in here a couple weeks ago, all that's left of them is some of these white specks of fat. Zoom in on them. A chunk of fat from that bison is all that left. And maybe that's some organic stuff, I don't know. But the white stuff is fat. Oh, hold on to your hats.
Hey, Dad! Take off your hat.
You see white speckles everywhere.
Like, you know, all of the iconic.
And what would cause a bison to go into extremely hot water? Maybe he just got lost. Maybe his senses weren't tingling. You know, it's very odd. Animals of Yellowstone know something is about to happen. Animals for weeks now are exiting Yellowstone. Authorities dialing down concerns, calling it migration, but that's not correct with the amount of breeds. People are saying, look up Mary Greeley. She will know if there's seismic activity there. Yellowstone people won't tell the truth.
Yellowstone National Park is once again making news, and it's not for a good reason. A gigantic hole has been found in the park again. You heard what I said. A gigantic hole has opened up at Yellowstone National Park. Take a look at this time-lapse video. There's the hole. Now keep an eye on the circle. Starting to open. Watch. Look at this. Take a look at that. This is incredibly crazy. Look at the size of that hole. For those that are unaware, beneath Yellowstone National Park lies a complex and extensive volcanic system. This also could both hold the key and explain as to why the animals were fleeing Yellowstone National Park in droves. So my question to you is, what are your thoughts as to what caused another gigantic hole to open up at Yellowstone National Park? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
All right, he asked, what is going on? What do you think is going on with Yellowstone? Well, I was curious because I see these type of, it looks like a mountain range, wherever this is near Yellowstone, if this is true. But my paradigm is telling me that this is an ancient tree stump that got snapped off a long time ago. So the root system runs extremely deep. Who's to tell you what type of civilization or what's moving up under the root system of this giant ancient tree stump is what I'm thinking. So there might be something bigger going on under Yellowstone.
Did you guys see that all of the animals are leaving Yellowstone National Park? Did you guys see that all of the animals are leaving Yellowstone National Park? They're all making their way, leaving Yellowstone National Park. I keep telling you guys, the earth is groaning, the earth is showing signs, everything is shifting in the atmosphere, the sky is different, everything is different, and everyone can feel it. Jesus is returning soon. The earth is showing signs. It is making it known in the water, in the sky, in the parks, in the animals. Nature is crying out. Nature is showing us that something is happening. None of this is conspiracy. This is all true. This is all factual. All of this is happening because the Lord is returning soon and He is giving us signs. And if you don't heed to these warnings, that is on you. I hope you guys understand that He is coming soon.
Volcano is absolutely massive as it's 37 miles long, 18 miles wide, and 4 miles deep. It has experienced 3 major volcanic eruptions. First eruption was 2.1 million years ago, the second eruption was 1.3 million years ago, and the recent eruption was 631,000 years ago. So if it were to erupt, the surrounding states of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming that are closest to Yellowstone would be affected by pyroclastic flows, while other places in the United States would be impacted by falling ash. The amount of ash would decrease with distance from the eruption site, and due to the smoke emitted into the atmosphere, a lot of sunlight would end up reflecting back into space. This means that the entire Earth would cool by at least 10 degrees for at least 10 years, which would hypothetically help global warming. So,
Alright guys, I know this video's out there, but he said something in the beginning that was important. Listen to this.
most people don't know that there is a supervolcano beneath this lake, which is in Yellowstone Park.
So there's a supervolcano under a lake. Now we have to all ask ourselves, what really is a volcano? What if they've been lying to you what actually volcanoes really are? What if every single volcano you've seen on Earth was actually man-made? What if all volcanoes are just ancient landfills? Like they just put all their trash in one single spot and it accumulated those chemicals over time, and guess what happens? Nah, that couldn't be it. Or could it? I want you guys to take a good look at the Grand Canyon. I mean, really take a good look at the Grand Canyon. Especially around this spot. Alright, now let me show you a picture of a quarry. Alright. So, you guys see this. This is a giant quarry, right? Now look at this. Grand Canyon, quarry. Grand Canyon, quarry. Grand Canyon, quarry. Now, the next question you might need to ask yourself, where did they put all this stuff that they dug out? I'm sure that they probably used it on those old ancient buildings that we've seen, but They had to dump it somewhere. While I was editing this video, I really didn't touch on the machines that they used to actually excavate the Grand Canyon. I want you guys to take a look at this machine that is currently being used today. Could they have used similar machines in ancient times to make these patterns appear on the Grand Canyon? And these patterns aren't only on the Grand Canyon. I can show you pictures in Antarctic that have the exact same patterns, just like the Grand Canyon. So the theory goes that the entire Earth possibly got excavated at one point in time. It gets a lot deeper than this, but that's for another video. Take a look at this. This looks like a giant mound of dirt that just got piled there. So it makes you think, could volcanoes really be man-made? The internet's been scrubbed of all the good information that really people used to really dig down deep on this subject. And if you got anything, please drop it in the comments below. But so my theory is all volcanoes could possibly be the trash accumulation of our ancestors, and the chemical combustion is causing it to spew lava. This has been over my timeline everywhere. I don't know who this man or woman is or what they do. So let's just see what's going on. This is the first time I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Cringeworthy footage shows the moment Coldplay's Chris Martin accidentally exposed a tech tycoon seemingly having an affair with a colleague. Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and his alleged mistress can be seen rushing to shield their faces as they flashed up on a big screen draped in each other's arms. Laughter erupted among the thousands packed into Gillette Stadium as Viva La Vida singer Martin quipped, "Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're very shy."
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Whoever's married to him, she just got paid. He's a tech tycoon for what? What tech? I wonder what tech company. Look at how red he turned. She turned red. She's smiling. She knows about it. You just as guilty as them because you knew about it. Where's the loyalty nowadays? Everybody's out for themselves, trying to have fun. Who can find a virtuous one is the question.
Update on the Coldplay concert affair. This is Andy Byron, the CEO of the data company Astronomer, and Kristen Cabot, the chief people officer of the same company. Yep, they're both married, not to each other, but it gets worse. Sitting directly next to them was Alyssa Stoddard, senior director of people at Astronomer, a newer hire who just got promoted. And based on her reaction, it was obvious that this was not a spontaneous, innocent outing. One thing is clear, the entire company might have known something was up. One user even wrote, "That's going to be one awkward board meeting, if not a couple divorces too." As for Andy's actual wife, she's moving swiftly. She's already removed his last name from her social profiles, deleted all their photos together, and gone completely silent, while her comments are flooded with messages of heartbreak and support. One of the top comments reads, "SIS, lawyer up. You deserve so much better." Meanwhile, Kristen's been wiped from Astronomer's Up About Us page in what some are calling a quiet internal response to the firestorm. It's unclear if Andy will follow, but this level of viral attention may force action. What Coldplay thought was just a cute fan cam moment has turned into a full-on HR disaster with 20 M+ views, a potential divorce, and an entire tech company dragged into public scandal.
Oh, it's a data company. He harvesting our data anyway, man. That's not helpful. Where's the good tech gurus that can make like a dishwashing robot that would stack it, clean it, you know? All these unnecessary tech companies. just picked her up like a WCW move. Oh, that was AI generated.
The company whose CEO is suspected of having an affair after being caught on kiss cam has debunked a fake statement circulating online.
What the hell?
Andy Byron, the CEO of $1.3 billion software firm Astronomer, went viral after being exposed
Astronomer.
on kiss cam with the head of HR, Kristen Cabot, at a Coldplay concert in Boston.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
A fake apology since surfaced online which read, "I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. But Astronomer has told TMZ it's not a real statement."
Ever wondered how and why the United States government was awarded the estate called the Smithsonian? Yeah, I have, and I've got some great information to share. Let's get to it. Now, in case you're wondering just how valuable this entire transfer turned out to be, let's just say today the estimate is about $500 billion of wealth inside the trust and accounts of the Smithsonian Institution as incorporated. Let's start with the deceased, whose death resulted in the automatic trust transfer of the Smithsonian wealth to the control of the United States government. Henry James Hungerford, born 1808, dies in 1835, childless in Pisa, Italy. He happened to be Smithson's sole heir, and under the residuary clause in Smithson's will, if this Hungerford died without children, well, the entire estate would default to the United States government. Now, who was James Smithson, the namesake? He dies in 1829. He was a British scientist and illegitimate son of Hugh Percy, the first Duke of Northumberland. He died in 1829 in Genoa, Italy, never having visited the United States. His nephew, Hungerford.
Geneva? I'm thinking of Switzerland. I'm like, hold on, is there a CERN connection here? But I think we're talking about two different spots.
Dies in Pisa, Italy, never having visited the United States. Smithson, in his will, left his estate to the United States if his nephew Hungerford died without heirs. I quote, "To be found in Washington under the name of the Smithsonian Institution, an establishment for the increase and diffusion of knowledge." This was not a charitable bequest in a generic sense. It was a perpetual trust fund established under U.S. federal oversight, but with a foreign origin and originally held in British banking instruments. So hit that like and subscribe button to find.
Interesting. The British just seem to have their hands into everything. All right, Yellowstone tour guide has never seen this, and she's been here 6 seasons.
Something like that before. No. See, something always changes. I can't really cross the road, but look at that. How cool is that? I don't even think that has a name. It just doesn't do anything. Normally. Until today. Yeah, it's just erupting like that before.
I almost getting the feeling now that they're trying to distract us from something. I've never been one to jump on trends, y'all. Like, I do my own thing, but this is definitely a distraction if you ask me.
It turns out that volcanoes are not what we thought they were. They aren't spewing lava from deep underground the Earth's crust. They are actually the dead carcasses of old dragons. And if you don't see it yet, maybe you will now. This is the face of a dragon that died. There are many other examples of volcanoes looking like the faces of dragons, just like this one right here. And that's because they are. Now let's take a look at Mayon Volcano. And what do we have here to the right? It is the head of a dragon. The entire mountain is the dead carcass that exploded. And all that remains that is visible is the head. Here's another one, Mount Vesuvius. We got the dragon on the left, and its mouth is spewing out all of the elements inside of its stomach, which I'll get to soon, and it created this mountain here. Now, I bet you didn't know that there are animals that actually use glycerin and potassium to make fiery explosions that shoot out of their body, usually their butt, such as the bombardier beetle, which has a reaction going on inside of the back of its body, and then it just like out a huge flame of fire. So is it really that hard to think that perhaps there was an animal a long time ago that could shoot flames out of its mouth with just glycerin and potassium? But there we are. Now you know that volcanoes are actually the dead bodies of dragons, and there are chemical reactions going on which create the flames going upward, and it's just basically going on in the animal's stomach. However long this thing died, it was probably like 1,000 years ago. It turns out
I know that's a crazy theory, right? I'm not gonna lie. This one kind of resembles
is the head.
a dragon. Like you got the witch like now you can kind of see the teeth and where his body is. That's kind of going there.
Y'all do know that these animals are not fleeing Yellowstone Park just because, or it's migration season or not. Nobody. Look a little bit deeper at what's been going on in the world. Also, look a little bit deeper as to what's been going on in the United States. Let's not be ignorant to what is in our faces. These animals are fleeing Yellowstone Park because they know something is about to happen. Animals always know before we know when something is going to happen. You want to know why? Because they are closer to the Creator than we are. You might say, well, I pray every day. I do it. No, the creation is closer to God than humans are closer to God. And so they know that something is about to happen in the earth because God has told them something is about to happen. You might say, well, God is not talking to the animals. He does. They know. So essentially what the prediction is that this super volcano in Yellowstone is probably about to do something crazy. And if it does, we do know that that would cause catastrophic damage to the U.S., which in biblical terms makes a lot of sense for the U.S. because I just don't see the U.S. in Bible prophecy. And if it is, as I always say, it is New Babylon. However, whether it's New Babylon or whether it's not in Bible prophecy, we know if it is New Babylon, it's supposed to fall. And if it's not in Bible prophecy, that means it's not in Bible prophecy. We know that means the U.S. will cease to exist. Very strategic for the U.S. to be placed with this Yellowstone Park. We have the New Madrid fault line. We have the San Andreas fault line. There's just a lot of, we have wars and threats. War. It's very interesting that we have so many different things that can end the U.S., under the U.S., around the U.S. So it's very interesting to me what is going on in the world right now. Now, let me just remind y'all that this is the of if Yellowstone erupted.
I didn't even know Yellowstone was up there. I know, man. I'm not the brightest crayon, but I try to figure out the truth here. I feel like it's a little bit of fear mongering going on. I'm not too convinced something huge is going to happen, but it is interesting to look at because people are saying Yellowstone, something crazy is going on in Yellowstone, guys. We're going to dive into it and figure it out. But don't let this scare you. You're all covered by the Mashiach. I'll be on a boat in the middle of a hurricane asleep peacefully. I'm not kidding y'all.
All that red that you guys see, that it will take out everything there. If it flows out, yes, they will still be affected. And so this is a pretty big thing. This is a better map because it shows you in different colors. Mostly the whole entire United States is affected by this. Yellowstone National Park is home to scenic mountain ranges, majestic geysers, and a sleeping giant known as a super volcano. Mind you, it's capable of a magnitude 8 eruption, that's the super of it. Now, I just want to head back to the animals real quick. We do know that the creation worships God. And this is Revelation 5. It says that, and I heard every creature in heaven and on earth, under the earth and in the sea, all of them saying to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb, be blessed and honor and glory and might forever and ever. Remember, that is also the animals. It's kind of like the Lion King when he's holding up Simba and they all come. Like Jesus is that Lion King. Like all creation worships, all creation Worship, that's the trees, that's the stars, that's the moon, that's the animals. They know. So if you see the animals acting weird, like they have been over the past several years, then you gotta know something major is coming. Specifically right now, we're talking about Yellowstone Park.
Yeah, guys, I do believe something interesting is happening at Yellowstone, but I also believe that there's a little bit of fear mongering going on whenever you talk about Yellowstone because of the volcano and, you know, these fault lines or whatever. I'm not buying it. That's why you gotta be careful. This is not Yellowstone. This actually looks like it's in Hawaii or something. Yep, this is Kailua Volcano in Hawaii. They doing, y'all pushing it, aren't y'all? If you thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today, think again. How intriguing is this? Man, the forbidden snow cone. Looks like it's cold. Man, what is this? Bubble aragonite cluster. Nice color, great color. If I had to name this piece, I would call it Vertical Cloud.
Yellowstone National Park this morning, and it is throwing the scientific community into a tizzy, wondering why they are leaving. Grizzly bears are not known to travel in herds like this all at once and great distances, and they are headed towards Salt Lake City, Utah. I reported earlier this week about the mountain lions that left Yellowstone. That was Colorado. And now the scientific experts think that they've been there for 20 to 25 years. Unbeknownst. Did you hear that last week, mysteriously, hundreds of mountain lions have been leaving Yellowstone National Park, headed south to Salt Lake City, Utah, and it's baffling the scientific experts of like, why would they be leaving all of a sudden? We've never seen this behavioral itch amongst the mountain lion populancers in any locale, in any state or geography, and it's not just one or two or three of them that are leaving. There's hundreds, and you can see these three just... Did you hear about the huge mystery that all the cats in the state of Florida and in southern Georgia are traveling to Miami and gathering in this certain spot? It's baffling the scientific experts, and it's
It reminds me of that game Oregon Trail where you had to hunt the buffalo with that stone. Man, that was my game. Fun times.
Now elk are leaving Yellowstone National Park in droves, thousands and thousands of them. They're following the grizzly bears and the mountain lions that started leaving last week, and it is baffling the scientific community. They can't explain why all these animal-age creature critters are fleeing Yellowstone National Park. You can see them here crossing lanes safely. You have men elk and women elk. The women elk don't have antlers. That's how you can tell the difference. But I called the park president, the head ranger. Now elk are leaving Yellowstone National Park in droves, thousands and thousands of them. They're following the grizzly bears and the mountain lions that started leaving last week, and it is baffling the scientific community. They can't explain why all these animal-age creature critters are fleeing Yellowstone National Park. You can see them here crossing lanes safely. You have men elk and women elk. The women elk don't have antlers. That's how you can tell the difference. But I called the park president, the head ranger, Joe Montana is his name, not to be confused with the football player.
Is he lying to us? Ranger Joe Montana. I don't think this video was real. Half of it was done with AI. A lot of what that dude was saying just wasn't lining up. You can't believe everything you guys see on the internet. Do your own research. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. There's something fishy about this video. Keep your head on the swivel. I don't think they're telling the complete truth here. Alright guys, that's all we have for today's video. If you made it this far, go ahead and put Yellowstone. The code word for today is Yellowstone. Drop Yellowstone in the comments. That lets me know you made it all the way through the video and you're a real one. And I appreciate your support more than you know, honestly. Tomorrow's your boy's birthday. I'm thinking about going live on Jet Ski Chuck, having some fun. I don't know. Maybe watch a My Lunch Break episode. It's been a while since we did that. And hang out with you guys. What better time to spend with you guys than on my birthday? I just want to say thank you again. And this was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you later.